One of my biggest passions right now is that I have been an entrepreneur for 7 years. I've looked at South Africa and Africa post the World Cup, and a lot of discussions on the continent have been around the rebranding of Africa, of South Africa. So I want to play a part in changing perceptions about how our continent is perceived, to take away all the negative perceptions. But a second part is really to contribute towards how we can trade together or trade against each other on the continent. I think sometime last year, Hillary Clinton came to South Africa and she continued her trip into the rest of Africa. And she said that, she said something very important, that Africa needs to trade with itself out of poverty. So I want to sort of start to proactively engage with the rest of the continent in exactly doing that, trading to eradicate poverty. It's a generational issue. I feel that there's such a wide gap between my generation and my parents' generation in the way that they've done business. So I feel that a lot of the discussions today focused a lot on transparency, that it's not so much a big issue, the issue of transparency of government or in business with my generation, but it is a big issue of the previous of my parents' generation around transparency. So it's a big cause because we need to change the way we do things in Africa, the way that we do business. The first step has been for me to get out of the comfort zone, to leave South Africa and start to visit some of the countries, because many South Africans or my generation have not gotten the opportunity to interact with the rest of the continent. So I have started to travel to the rest of the continent to look at trade in the different parts of the continent and just to get a better understanding. And then to start collectively looking for solutions with my counterparts. This is the greatest space that any entrepreneur or anybody who's looking at having impact in the world to be part of. There is such a diverse group of people with different expertise from all over the world. And this is an unbelievable space, because every time you sit down in a session, you engage with other young global leaders, you learn something new. But also, it is also an interesting space because it's a space where everybody's different, but also a space where everybody speaks their mind as it is. So I think a lot of the ideas that come from the young global leaders community can actually impact on the agenda of global agendas of, well, even country by country. Certainly, I want to see our trade in Africa, in South Africa, improve. For my business, being involved in the magazine printing sector in South Africa, I feel that the rest of the continent has procured those services from Europe. So I want to increase our participation in the rest of the continent beyond 2020.